I think community is huge, whether it be a community simply at home with the neighbors on the same block, or citywide, or a couple cities just like SELA. But to me, community and just helping others has always been an integral part of who I am, and yeah, just who I am. Throughout teaching, I think I really developed this passion to want to be there, to want to find the better versions or help other people become a better version of themselves. Yet the reason why I ended up running for council for here in the city of Maywood. I am in my second year, first term, and definitely something I never envisioned myself or expected myself to do. Definitely coming from a ranchito in Zacatecas and growing up, and even then, even though I came here at a very young age, I always went back to Mexico. I've always felt part of this community. It's super welcoming. And there's just so many great individuals. To me, I've always seen SELA as the forgotten cities in LA. Like, estamos aventados, amontonados en un rinconcito. But it's an amazing rinconcito. It's rich in culture, it's rich in language, it's rich in foods. Así como en el rancho, it's like, good morning, buenos días, cada mañana going to school. I feel the same way here, that we're just so willing to give a helping hand when needed, and just be community, just be unity. Definitely COVID has been impactful in so many different ways. I think a lot of the times we tend to see it as more negative than positive, and maybe it is more negative than positive. But for people who know me, I always like to look at the cup half full. I remember the last day of school, March 13th, I think it was. The principal had made the announcement, we're going to be out for 2 weeks. Go to your locker after school, get textbooks, whatever you're going to need. Your charger, all of our kiddos have a Chromebook, so make sure you take your chargers, you're going to need them. And I go into the hallway and I see all these kids like super happy. Yes, we're going to be out for 2 weeks. We're going to be out for 2 weeks. I'm super excited. I'm super happy. No school for 2 weeks. Yet I don't think anybody realized that those 2 weeks were going to turn into months and the entire semester and how drastic things have been. But if I really were to look back at March 13th as a teacher, as an educator, and how excited kids were, the value of education for a lot of these kids, I think for most of these kids, they've been able to find that value of education. They've been able to find the value of a school community. Because despite Zoom, despite virtual conversations, despite virtual lessons, and the one thing students kept telling me over and over again, from the 6th grader to the 12th grader, it's, I miss school so much, and now I understand the value of education. To me, education has gotten me places I never imagined would have been possible without it. And it just warmed my heart when I was able to hear my kiddos say, I miss school so much. And not only because of my friends or because of lunch or my electives or the sports, but I realized how important education really is. And despite COVID hit, and there's been so many tragedies because of it, from people dying, from people losing their jobs, their homes, so forth and so on, it also brought in this wave of hope, this wave of realization that the little things are sometimes things that we don't value. And I saw it in my kiddos. I saw it in my students. I saw it in the education world. I saw it with classmates, with other teachers, with other coworkers. I think the future is unknown. It's uncertain, so many uncertainties. But I know in terms of at least us and LAUSD going back to school, it's still ongoing conversation between those on the board, district officials, school leaders, parents, students. I think all stakeholders are really coming together to talk about how it might look like if we were to go back, and if it's even possible to even continue that conversation about we are going back with this, and this. I do hear a lot more parents saying, and even some teachers, it's no, we shouldn't go back yet. We're looking now this summer how COVID numbers have definitely increased from back in March, April, May. So definitely that increase is definitely no way of, or no sign of us having the possibility of even returning to school. I think it's just scary. I think it's just scary having to think about how much more vulnerable we are if we were to go back. For so many reasons. I mean, there's a lot of older teachers as well, but even the younger of us. I'm still young. Even the younger of us, it's if we are going to be okay, that doesn't mean that our family members, our home will be okay. Our abuelitas, our older tias, our older parents. It's definitely, at least personally, despite virtual learning and zooming through sessions and one lesson and after the other and going to meetings virtually, I think I'd rather continue with that for this next semester, knowing that it's for the well-being of the community, of the most. I think we need to worry a lot about our mental health. Our mental health is super important. If we are not well and in sync with each other, with ourselves, mentally, emotionally, and sometimes I think physically might even be the easiest to deal with. We're not alone in this. We're all going through this, something that's new and tough and challenges, but we're not alone. In one way or another, we're connected, we're intertwined. So to me, communication is key. We only move forward. We only come out of COVID. We only come out of whatever circumstance we are, if we're able to connect, if we're able to have conversations with each other. So don't be afraid of reaching out and asking for help. Stay inspired. It runs through my veins. Inspiration, I think, is something that connects us. I highly, deeply, religiously believe in one another, each other, inspiring each other to be better versions of ourselves. And share your story. Share your story, because somewhere, at some point, is listening, is watching, and if you're able to share your story, they're able to realize that they're not alone. Somebody might be able to connect with what I'm going through, and I might be able to connect with whatever somebody else is going through. Don't be afraid. Challenge yourself every day. And we already have tons of challenges, but keep challenging yourself for a better you, for a better community, for a better future, and just always wear your mask and live life and inspire.